It's never gonna be a smooth transition. I'm like, let's roll it, and it should just go. But okay, well, we'll roll it here in a second. Y'all just gonna have to wait for this amazing fucking Cage and Cage intro clip that Tim made. Here we go. Hopefully that's not lagging. You know, Elijah were dancing this last week. It's good. You were doing your panda thing. Was it lagging? Looks like it might be.
We'll have a new laptop soonish.
Yeah.
It's just something that wrong.
Oh, there's a big delay. I just want to see if it's lagging like the video did last week. It doesn't look like the video is playing at all on our screen.
Oh, they can see us?
Yeah, we're dancing.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know they could see us.
The music's playing, but the video is not. We got some fucking slick moves though.
Yeah.
I don't know why the video's not playing. What's with that?
It's because your computer's kind of old.
Yeah, this laptop sucks. Well, that fucking was a fake start. And now it looks like the stream went down.
It's still on my phone.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all. We're having some technical difficulties right now. We're between producers, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. I want to try this intro again. I fucking love this intro. I want to watch it. We're going to do this. Oh, Care's on. Hey. Well, you can go eat some grits. Have you seen
What's the grossest one?
She says this episode sucks. She doesn't like it.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody has a right to their opinion.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen Face Off? That's the movie we just watched. Well, I guess that intro video is not going to play.
Yeah, I think we should just move on.
We'll just move on. We're going to just gauge Cage straight up. That's what she said was gross, motherfucker. You don't like the movie Face Off, or do you just think him taking his face off was gross? Because that was kind of gross. You see him with like no skin on and stuff.
Face off.
Face Off. I thought that movie was dope.
Oh, it was amazing.
Have you guys seen Face Off? Have y'all seen this shit? I hadn't even really. I don't think I've even heard of this movie.
Yeah.
Until
you hadn't. I don't know how. Like, I really don't know how. New face, new year.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's our New Year's thing. Is it's a brand new year to rip someone else's face off and start anew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. New face, new year.
New face, new year. That's our motto at Gage and Cage. Of course, we got Vindaloo with us, as always. The Vindy. And y'all know Panda, and I'm Harold, so what's up? Carrie, how you doing? It's gross, and the sex perf is Hillary level. What do you mean sex perf?
Is there any sex in that movie?
You don't see too much sex, but he does have sex with spoiler alert, by the way. Go watch this if you're worried about spoilers.
Alerts, yeah.
But yeah, he has sex with dude's wife.
But it doesn't show it, because I was kind of looking forward to the scene where, like, he just beats the brakes off of that lady. Because she's all like, I haven't had sex in 17 years.
The sex perv. Who's the perv?
I guess
is that Nick Cage?
Guess Nick Cage.
What's his name? Like Carlos Santana or something?
No. Stop. Something Troy.
Troy. Connor Troy.
No.
Conor McGregor.
We literally just watched this movie. We're like, what's his name? Something Troy.
Troy. Peach. He talks about peaches.
Oh, yeah, in the very beginning.
Which is funny because you talk about peaches.
I do, but that's in the context of a butt, and this was before eating ass was really a thing. Like, I'm always like, you have a nice peach, but I'm talking about your butt.
I think that's what he was doing, too. He was talking about peaches like a butt.
No, I think, like, peaches like that are used, like, because, like, the way you eat a peach, like, it's, like, was previously used for, like, cunnilingus. Use the technical word for that. Because
for what?
I'm fancy.
For what?
Cunnilingus.
What's cunnilingus?
It's like when you eat a girl out.
It's called cunnilingus?
Yeah, and then going down on...
Is that like the scientific word for it?
Yes, and
there's a scientific word for licking a pussy?
There's a scientific word for sucking a dick also, yes.
Oh, what's that one too?
Fellatio.
Dude, fuck scientists. They got too much time on their hands coming up with this shit. You can't just like... Fellatio.
Anyway, there is a peach... Yeah, he's a dirty perv.
Oh, man, they're fucking makeup. So we're watching it in mute in the background. Of course, we just watched this movie, but
she said you troll.
Whatever, you come on here and troll us. So you know, it takes one to know one because I'm rubber, you're glue, and whatever. Back to you.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I like the birds a lot.
This movie was kick-ass. I fucking love this movie. Can't believe I never heard of it. I love John Travolta. I love Nicolas Cage. I don't really know anyone else in this movie.
You know Margaret Cho? Margaret Cho's in that.
I don't really know her.
You don't know her. I don't.
I mean, I know who she is, but you know.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Margaret Cho.
I never like followed her or nothing. Yeah, if you haven't, dude, Carrie, if you haven't seen it since you were like 17, you need to go back and rewatch it.
Definitely go back and rewatch it because I watched it as a kid as it came on at USA like every day between Duckman and Tremors.
What's Duckman?
You never saw Duckman?
Mm-mm.
It's a show about a man who's a duck, and it was USA, like, 90s. And I just remember, like, the girl duck had, like, huge boobs.
Nice. There are no titties in that movie. That kind of sucked.
No, the no titties in that one. But
tell me more about Duckman.
It was just, like, a really perverse adult comic. It was, like, before South Park and, like, other comedy, like animated comedies were really a thing. You had, like, The Critic... And you had Duckman, and they were both like late night USA, which was pretty perverse. I don't know where my parents were.
Carrie says Tremors is gold.
Yeah, we watched it the other day, actually.
I don't watch film anymore. What are you, Nicolas Cage or something? I don't watch films. I create them. I feel like that's something he might say. No offense, Cagey. We love you. We know he watches every week.
Yeah.
We just watched Tremors.
We did just watch Tremors, yeah.
With
Kevin Bacon and what's that country music lady's name?
Reba?
Reba McEntire's in it as like the end of the world people who have like the basement that's all like preppers. End of the world preppers. She's like the dude's wife. Total badass because she's Reba McEntire. She's a little spitfire.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah, and they blow him up at the end, right? I think.
Yeah, they blow him up pretty much.
Well, no, the last one he gets to go flying off a cliff. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Like, tricks him to like chase him.
He tricks him, yeah.
Kevin Bacon saves the day.
But that's Castor is his name.
Oh, nice. Castor Troy.
Yeah, Castor Troy.
He names their kid Castor. That's a weird.
I think it's a cool name.
I mean, Castor Troy is a really cool name.
Yeah.
But Castor, like. I don't know. I hardly named any of my kids that.
It made me think of castor oil.
Makes me think of like Fidel Castro.
Nice.
I guess.
So anyway, we'll do a review on Tremors one day. However, for now we're talking about Face Off.
Face Off. There were multiple face-offs in the movie.
There were. I think they have 3 face-offs. The first one where they're in an airplane. Solid start. The second one.
Where was the airplane face-off?
That's like the first face-off. Like,
oh no, he's not in the airplane, but he's like he's like chasing the plane down, and he gets him to crash into a hangar, and
Then the initial fight.
And he shoots that federal agent.
Yeah.
And this is a damn good movie.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how good this movie is.
So that's the first face-off. The second face-off.
There's so many, man. It's hard to...
No, maybe there's just two. I just watched this movie. I have like 2 brain cells.
It was like a 3-hour movie, dude. Like, how can you possibly remember like every face-off?
Oh no, they have another face-off in that rich dude's apartment. It's the second one where they're like fighting. They look into like the one-way mirror or whatever. And they're like pew pew. And then the third face-off, final one, where they're in the bird church.
Bird church. There's more than that.
Not really. I'm not a religious person, but if I ever saw a church that just like let pigeons wander around like among the pews and stuff, I would sign the fuck up for that. I'd be like, yes.
Well, it's funny because they were having a funeral for this guy, and they have like doves in the church for the funeral. I'm like, they just let birds like in the church or whatever. But I could get it for maybe that occasion. Whatever, maybe the guy really liked doves or is a peaceful thing or whatever. It's weird, but I can kind of get on board. But then they show a scene after that, after the funeral clears out and everyone leaves the building.
The birds are still
are still in there. Like they just leave them in there.
Bird church, man.
It's bird church. They just leave the windows open and they're like, come on in.
Yeah.
Bird church.
I liked that a lot. I'd say my biggest complaint with this movie is like, they really don't address, like... Well, they do. That's the part that has me fucked up. Like, okay, I know, like, sure, you have this crazy technology where you mold their face or whatever. But, like, it's an organ, and he's like, oh, I have AB blood type, and the other dude has O, but, like, somehow we're able to take an organ. Your skin is an organ, and just transplant it. No, like, they're different blood type... Isn't one maybe one of them was a universal donor? Still doesn't make sense. And still
the doctor does mention it.
Well,
he mentions it. I forget exactly what he says, and we're almost on that scene where he did that.
We are.
Physical alteration, augmentation.
Dr. Walsh can alter the likeness even
This might be it
voice
right
of a
here.
government witness.
I think you'll recognize this patient.
It's just
We have to
FBI.
go
Yeah,
to our
it's
friend
like
Loomis.
there's a whole. It is really like a 30-minute thing. We don't have to watch it, but like,
It's not a 30-minute thing. It's like a couple minutes. So his federal agent got shot in the ear, and they're like re-augmenting and cloning an ear for him.
they're basically 3D printing an ear.
Which for '97, that was like really forward-looking.
It was, yeah.
The new anti-inflammatory is 36 days, not weeks. Your blood types won't match, but Pollux won't know that. Height difference is negligible.
But he doesn't say anything
That's
medical about it.
But it's a fucking organ.
He's like, your blood types won't match, but he won't know.
Hey, but I don't know why that like bothers me so much, because like it's obviously like all like you can't switch faces and bodies and everything with somebody, but like it just bothers me. Like, yeah.
Yeah, or I was a lame joke I said after it happened. I was like, but that's how you get AIDS. But really, I mean, if he had any kind of diseases or whatever, and Troy got around. Probably. Like, he was a psycho dude. He fucking fucked all sorts of people and did all sorts of shit. So we don't know.
He's pipping the old diddly do,
So we don't know what he's fucking got. And so when they take his face off and then attach... Well, I guess they do dip it in that gel stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe that would kill any shit that might have been on there.
I don't know. Maybe. But it's just like a small thing. About
Another thing that's weird is that they seem to be able to feel their faces, and you would think you would have no feeling on your face after a procedure like that.
But really quick, Carrie said she wants birds at her funeral. How do you feel about emus?
An emu burial?
She said she wants birds at her funeral. She didn't say what kind. I'm just saying emus could be an option.
Are emus birds? Oh yeah, I guess.
Yes, emus are birds.
I was thinking more like a llama when you said emu, but
they're kind
of like ostriches, right?
Yeah, they're mean. But anyway. Yeah, I guess they could dip it in something. It's still just bothers me.
But if they did that, they probably wouldn't be able to feel their face after the fact. Like,
yeah.
How do you attach all the nerve endings and stuff? Like, that just feels like a whole other thing. I don't know. This movie wasn't very scientific, but it was cool. You saw some people with their faces off. That's dope.
Yeah.
Face off.
And was there anything you particularly liked about the movie? Like a favorite scene or?
It's hard to pinpoint a favorite scene because I've only seen this movie once and just now. So
it's 3 hours long.
And I don't remember everything out of it. But it's just fantastic all around. Nick Cage performance was top tier. We usually save the Nick Cage gauging scale
we don't have to gauge it. Yeah.
I'm giving Nick Cage a 5 out of 5 straight off the bat. I'm just gonna get that out of the way.
Right.
This is everything you want to see in a Nick Cage movie. He has all the emotion and all the shit. And then also, I guess what I like the most about this movie is that it's layered and it's like kind of complex, and you're kind of figuring. And it's not only just for you, the viewer, but also the people in the movie. Like they have like all sorts of like even after they switch bodies and faces and stuff. Troy seems to do okay with it, but the other guy, like, he has moments where he's like lapsing into
basically,
another. He's like losing himself in a way, and that's kind of deep.
Gotta lose yourself in the music, never let it go. Yeah, I'm very white. Yeah, it was good. My favorite part, I think, was when Nick Cage is on drugs, like towards kind of like the latter part of the movie. And, like, he's, like, going to the other dude's drug house or whatever, a very fancy trap house. And he takes some sort of drug, which I can't really maybe Molly? I don't know. But, he goes and he's all fucked up. He's like, well, I'm fucked up. And goes into the bathroom and he's like, I am me.
Yeah.
And, like, he's, like it's just, like, glorious, crazy Nicolas Cage eyes, and like his teeth are like, or his like lips are like pulled up to the gums, and it was very Vampire's Kiss. It was like super reminiscent of like crazy.
Well, he had that look. He had that famous look from Vampire's Kiss.
It was that's exactly what it made me think of, and I was like, that's it. That's the best scene in the movie.
Which, if y'all haven't seen Vampire's Kiss yet, that's one of Nick Cage's earliest roles. And it's fucking dope. That's a great fucking performance. I think that was the first episode that we did was Vampire's Kiss.
It was, and then you made me watch it like after you had watched it once that day. I came home from work, and you were like, we're going to watch Vampire's Kiss. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was so good. I watched it literally 2 times in a row. Like back to back.
Yeah, back to back. That's my favorite scene. He's on drugs. He stumbles to the bathroom, like gun all willy-nilly, even though he's an FBI agent.
Yeah, but he's
seeing
fucked up.
tracers, and he's like, I am me. Yeah.
It was fun watching John Travolta do a Nicolas Cage kind of impersonation.
Honestly, you didn't do half bad with him.
Yeah, for the most part, he did pretty good. He wasn't always on point. There was one scene where you thought he sounded kind of like Jim Carrey, which was right. Like
He did like I can't remember what it was.
It was just a very Jim Carrey-esque type like motion.
Like he turned, like, yeah.
Yeah, he did it. We obviously didn't do it good, but yeah,
no.
he did. It was awesome. Which honestly, I mean, maybe he didn't do good because he was trying to do Nicolas Cage,
and he obviously did a Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but in general, though, he did a really good job. Like there are some scenes that you're watching John Travolta and he's playing Nick Cage.
Yeah,
and he's convincing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. It was actually, it's not gauging Travolta, but
he did good.
Mm-hmm. He is weirdly, I stand by this, he's so weird looking.
Yeah.
And I also stand by the fact that, like, if a movie came out in the next couple years and for some reason it was like Elon Musk, but like looking back at his life, like telling the Elon Musk story or something, like he looks weird like Elon Musk does.
Mm-hmm.
Like a very broad face and like...
Yeah, they've got like...
Yeah,
jowls.
Similar jowls.
Mm-hmm. And their face is kind of square a little bit.
Yeah, he could do it, especially now.
Their hair is very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw a video of Elon Musk today, and he's rocking a Kim Jong haircut.
I don't think he's doing well since his lady Grimes left him.
What?
There's a lot of like...
It's Elon drama?
Elon drama. But I don't even know that much about it, but she left his ass.
I think he's...
together called like Q.7 asterisk.
I think he's doing pretty good
something.
because in the last couple months, he's sold $2 billion worth of his Tesla stock.
He lost Grimes.
So I think he's doing okay. $2 billion. We've already done Con Air. Fucking Carrie, get with it, yo. That was like
I wasn't involved in Con Air.
Dude, Elon, we're not going to dwell on this all day, but he did mention, like, the interviewer asked him when he thought he would land, SpaceX would land a person on Mars. He sat there and he thought about it for a second, for like a minute. And he said, worst case scenario in 5 years. Best case? Best case. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Best case scenario in 5 years.
I was like, holy shit, he's got big plans.
But, no, hear this. Worst case scenario, 10 years.
All right, so meet in the middle at like 7.5 years.
Yeah, we'll be doing that soon.
In our lifetime, that's crazy. Crazy.
But yeah, we already did Con Air. Twitch deletes the videos after like 2 weeks. But we do have it in the archives, which we've been slowly releasing. So you'll just have to stay tuned to our YouTube channel. I've slowly been leaking, episodes from the vault. I don't want to dump it all at once. I've kind of been trickling it out there. So we'll see. We will see.
That
was I like this movie way better than Con Air. Con Air kind of was...
Face Off was, honestly, like, as ridiculous of a concept of a movie that it is, it's pretty good. It has a lot of Michael Bay, like, a lot of explosions, a lot of, like, big action scenes.
Yeah. It's very, like, Speed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or like
I love that movie.
A little bit Jurassic Park-esque. Not for the most part, but like when you look at like the computers and like the
science fiction aspect
and their compounds and the way the prison's set up, like I remember thinking like a lot of those scenes look similar to Jurassic Park, like inside their compound, because it was just like a 90s futuristic looking, what they thought in the 90s futuristic looking like compound.
Which, I mean, I guess with the 3D printing of stuff, they weren't too far off. Another thing that kind of bothered me is that, so, our man swaps space with Nicolas Cage and then goes undercover into prison and manages to escape this, like, fucked up prison or whatever. And then he gets out and he's like, oh, it's, like, in the middle of the ocean, and you can see, like, the shoreline in the distance, probably a mile away or so. A very long swim. And then, there's a helicopter in the sky that's shooting at him, and he jumps off of, like, the thing into the middle of the ocean, and, like, in this scene, you just kind of see the helicopter just, like, kind of fuck off and go somewhere else. And it's like, and they're like,
just leave him.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's dead.
He drowned.
We're not going to try to recover the body. Like, I don't know why that bothered me also. I was like, but like...
Well, not to mention also...
It wasn't that far of a drop, I mean...
Well, there also should have been... Because this is like a super heavy maximum security prison where they make their inmates wear...
oh, I know! They do, don't they?
They make inmates wear, like, magnet boots and stuff. Like, very intense. I am.
But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying the fact that, he was even able to escape out of the prison, like the inner confines was a lot, but had you made it to the exterior, there still would have been guards and shit like all
there's
over.
Like two guards.
No, there's none at all. There's a helicopter.
There's just a helicopter? I thought there was a guard.
Not on the outside of the compound.
Like, they're made to wear, like, heavy metal boots that are, like, they can turn on a button that, like, basically, like, they call it, like, a super magnet or something, and so they have to wear these metal boots, and once they turn the button on, they're, like, glued to the floor. Which, first of all, can you imagine the amount of broken ankles? I mean, like, just being in a snowboard, like, that's up to your ankle, like, you fall on that thing the wrong way, and it just snaps. Anyway, I digress. Like, he just escapes out of this thing, jumps, like, maybe, like, 70-foot fall, which is a lot, but, like, in water, definitely survivable. And they're just like, well, he's dead.
Yeah, they considered him dead too. Like when they asked about it later,
They didn't even try to recover
they're
the
like,
body.
"Oh, Troy's dead," and dude's like, "Where's his body?"
I don't believe it.
Yeah, they're like, "Where's?" He's like, "Where's his? I want to see the body." And they're like, "Oh, well, we don't have that yet." He's like, "Well, fucking get it, fucking get it,
Yeah.
you dumb fucks." God damn. He's like one of the most dangerous terrorists in the whole fucking world that's fucking trying to blow up shit in fucking LA and shit. And he escapes out of prison. And then he's going to jump into water and be like, nah, he's probably
From
dead.
it's probably realistically a 70 or 80 foot fall.
It was a big drop, but I don't think it would kill you.
You'd survive.
Yeah.
Another part of the movie I liked is like the super fucking metal part where like the Nick Cage like, or whatever, the bad guy, he wakes up like without a face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like
like
faceless, and he's like making phone calls and smoking cigarettes.
He has no lips, and he's trying to talk
He's
like he's smoking a cigarette with no face, and that's Nick Cage doing that.
Yeah,
that's fucking dope.
Yeah, he's like it's fucking metal. Like,
Shab Lagoo, welcome back, man. Have you seen Face Off? Do you know what we're talking about? Because like, goddamn, this movie. And another thing I liked about it is like, you know, I didn't look too much into it going into it. Like, I know it's about guys that like swap faces or whatever, but other than that, I didn't really know. So like at the beginning, you're kind of wondering like who takes whose face off and who's who and what's the timeline, and because they kind of, you know, they don't jump around too much with the time, but they start, you know, in the opening scene. I thought we were talking about The Rock.
what?
Shab Lagoo. He thought we were talking about The Rock, apparently, with all the terrorists, and it's the type of movie I guess The Rock would do. Dude,
if they remade Face Off, The Rock would totally be in this.
Yeah,
for sure. He'd wear like
who would be the other face? Whose face would be on whose face?
Maybe somebody that's like Chris Pratt or something, because he's pretty popular right now.
Chris Pratt and The Rock on
because it's so different. Off. It's kind of different, but they're both a little like hunky. And
who would be who? Who would be the really
Chris
bad
Pratt
guy?
would be the good guy.
So, The Rock.
But I would really have to think about that, because I think The Rock would definitely be the bad guy. And I think
it has Sean Connery. What has? The movie The Rock. I thought you were talking about the actor The Rock.
Was that because of the Out in the Middle of the Ocean? Was that about Alcatraz or something? What's The Rock?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah, we haven't seen The Rock with Sean Connery, but
no.
It sounds interesting.
I wish I could do a Sean Connery voice, like Sean
Connery. Shab Lagoo has not seen Face Off though, so I don't want to give too many spoilers away for you.
No, I mean,
but it's awesome.
Too bad, buddy.
You gotta watch it. It's really kick ass.
It is. What is all with all these people not?
Hey, he says it's got Cage in it too. The Rock.
Well, then we'll have to watch it.
I mean, we're gonna watch all of them, so we'll get there eventually for sure.
Eventually.
That's one thing that's fun about this project is like when we're trying to decide like, which one should we do? There's so many good ones to choose from. Like we still gotta do Wicker Man.
I cannot fucking wait. Let me tell you how ready I am for Wicker Man. Oh my god.
The National Treasures.
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass.
Which he's not like extremely in that Kick-Ass movie, but I think he's in enough.
I love him. He plays Big Daddy.
Yeah.
In Kick-Ass.
I think it's enough to warrant a Engaging Cage watch.
Anything with Nicolas Cage.
Anything. I mean,
we're gonna do Into the Spider-Verse because he plays one of the. He's the detective.
I mean, I'm into all those movies.
Spider-Man. I heard this last Spider-Man was pretty good.
It's supposed to be Kick-Ass, and I believe it.
Did you hear the thing about the, like, what happens? Not necessarily, like, what happens, but, like, you know what I'm talking about? How there's, like, this thing that happens in that movie that's, like, kind of interesting. It's a slight spoiler, but
don't tell me that.
It's not really a spoiler. It's just a cool thing.
No.
Okay, that's fine. I heard it was good. I haven't seen it. Fast Times in Ridgemont High.
Oh.
Yeah, so I read that he was in that, but I haven't seen that movie in so long. I don't remember it.
I don't either. I saw it when I was in my, like, really early 20s, like 20.
So it says, that was my skull. Was that his line in Ridgemont High? Because I don't remember. I know I've seen that movie, but it was so long ago. Like, this This scene where this guy fucking like, he's like, my face itches. And his buddy's like,
I got you.
I'll scratch your face. I got it. Like his hands are free. He can't like scratch his own face. Or maybe he's in handcuffs in this scene because he's turning him over.
It's very intimate.
That might have been it. But still. And it's so sad because
those agents, like, with a terrorist, they'd be like, fuck you, I'm not, like, deal with the itches. Like,
that was Sean Penn was the skull guy. Nick Cage was the fry cook in Fast Times. Yeah?
I liked the boat scenes a lot.
Yeah. There's some good 90s
good boat scenes.
90s action boat chases.
90s action boat chase. It's kind of wild.
They're pretty well done. Like you see like these boats like they're like knocking together and shit and when they wreck them you see it like one just straight up explodes but the other one like it's like some really massive air and you see Nick Cage and John Travolta and they're flying through the air and then the boat explodes and like
it's a lot.
That's fucking awesome.
And then massive spoiler alerts. The ending where he cuts... They've switched faces, and he, like, mutilates his face. He's like, you have to live with my face. Is pretty good. And then the harpoon thing is a little ridiculous. Like,
yeah, where'd the harpoon gun come from?
Harpoon just appears on the beach they crashed on.
They were suggesting that it was on the boat. But, like, that's also suggesting that just because you have a boat, you also probably have a harpoon gun on board.
I always carry 3.
Every time I go out on the ocean, I don't leave without my harpoon gun. It's just so random.
And then, like, they crashed on the beach, and, like, the harpoon and him both had, like, the same, like, long, like, whatever. The same what? Like, they both were able to be thrown from the boat at the same arc and, like, distance. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I'm not very interesting without Harold. Nicolas Cage also has a really fucking cool weenie duster in this movie, which is what I call a mustache. I guess it's a womb broom if you're straight, but a fucking bitchin' ass mustache in the first scene. That thing, he looks like Charlie Chaplin or Adolf Hitler.
Who's that?
In the first scene, like his fucking weenie duster.
It's a big mustache though. It's not the.
It's not like I guess it's not the Charlie Chaplin one that's like right here, but
no, it's like a full like 80s pedophile rapist mustache.
It's a fucking white van mustache. Like, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say when you were gone, so I started talking
about mustaches?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of wish he had just kept that mustache throughout the whole movie, because, I mean, I think Nick Cage and a mustache really makes me happy.
Okay, I will say, if the one thing that could have made this movie more, like, entertaining, I agree with that, is if he had the mustache.
Do you think Nick Cage grew that mustache, or was it a fake mustache?
Abso-fucking-lutely, I think he grew it.
He's
yeah, I mean... How long do you think it would take? Well, it's pretty long, though.
And it was really thick. It was a thick, well-grown mustache.
Well-groomed, like, very, like, trimmed up, not like one that, like...
No. I said a well-grown mustache.
Oh, it was well-groomed.
Not at the top. It was like his nose hair is kind of interconnected with the top of it. Yeah, I noticed that. So it was like... So for me to grow a mustache like that, I mean, I couldn't grow a mustache like that. My mustache hair doesn't grow in that thick.
I bet it would.
It would take months.
Well, I mean, maybe it was fake then.
I don't know.
Maybe it was, but either way, it was bitchin', and I think we can agree that that's the one thing. If I had that's it.
That fucking Nick Cage face. Oh man,
I would have.
This is when he's really like finding himself. He's like, oh yeah, I'm this bad guy.
He's like first in the prison, just so you guys know, and like he's like, oh, how many because before he's like this boring ass, like very like
watch your fucking mouth. We have that in our Gage and Cage intro video. Tim put that in there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Tim did such a good job.
He really did.
But yeah, he's really like first in the prison. His brother's watching him, kind of realizes like that's not my brother, but he's going fucking ham. He's like, what? And he fucking kicks some dude's ass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And then he kind of forgets like, oh fuck, I'm like he's having a little too much fun.
He's losing himself in the character.
He's an FBI agent. He's got, you know.
Well, they say that about like kind of like method acting, like where you try to get into the mind.
Dude, that'd be scary.
You can lose yourself like that.
Well, I mean, I think it's like on a certain level, like if I'm around, maybe. So I've been doing this weird thing lately, and you comment on it all the time, where I make like a weird voice sometimes, and I don't know what it is. I'm like,
you have this weird accent that you're developing.
Hey. Or I don't.
No, it's
I
not
don't
that.
know.
No, it's like it's kind of like cute, and you kind of cut your words off a little bit short, saying, I don't know
what I'm doing.
I'm gonna say the sentence like this,
but
it's very subtle.
It could be from Frankie.
It's very subtle.
It could be from my coworker.
So you're picking up her accent?
I think so. I think I am. But like that's kind of like method acting, only like super like if I tried to be like her every day. And I can imagine how easy it would be to like fucking lose control if I tried to emulate what I thought like this certain thing is supposed to be of a certain person. Like that's fucking crazy because like you pick up things from I've obviously picked that like weird new thing I do up that I don't even know I'm doing where we sit on the couch and I'm like I can't do it like if I'm trying to like hey I don't.
It's not that. I don't know why you keep going, hey, because it's definitely not even close to that.
I don't know what it is, though. Like, I can't, like, you'll be like, oh, you did the thing again. And I'm like, I don't know. I think it might be from her, because I can't figure out where it is. Anyway, but, like, trying to imagine, like, trying to dive that deep and just be somebody every day would be...
Well, not only that, so
the
reason for him, too, is, like, it's his sworn enemy. He had killed his son. He has been tracking him forever, so in order to track a person, you have to really know that person. So when you've been so obsessed with finding this one person for so long,
sure,
now you have his face and his voice and his body and everything.
Yeah,
that has got to be a complete mind clusterfuck, which it is, and they portray that.
Here's where he doesn't have a face.
He's just like walking around. Hey, your face.
I mean, he puts the pieces together relatively quickly, though.
He plays a really good bad guy, Nicolas Cage.
He does. He does.
He doesn't have, I feel like, that many bad guy roles. But when he does, man, he's vicious.
Kills him.
Vicious. We got Shablagoo all self-conscious about his...
Why?
Because his the mustache nose hair thing that we said with Nicolas Cage.
Why? Are you rocking a mustache?
You got a mustache, or do you have like a full beard? Is it just straight up mustache?
Oh, well, you should be self-conscious of that. Like, always take like a little nose trimmer and get up in there, you know?
Whatever. Nicolas Cage did it and put it in a movie and made millions of dollars. So, I say rock it, dude. Fucking rock that snot rocket stash, man. I'm just kidding.
Snot rocket stash? Ew.
What'd you call it earlier? Like a dick duster or something?
A weenie duster. Because it looks like a broom, like when it's like that. And then if you're like, yeah, it's like a little broom. Like, see, you get it now. Like, it's a weenie duster, right? Like, it's like if you, okay.
You never thought about a nose hair merger before.
Yeah, it's
very subtle and it happened real quick.
I've seen it in older men where it's like they're not trimming their nose hairs.
I've never trimmed my nose hair, and they stick out.
They do a little.
Oh yeah, I have nose hair for sure.
I would lie. I would be lying if I said I never noticed that.
No, it's there.
I mean, I'm a lady, and I have to trim mine.
I like it just to protect from just like dust particles and
don't pluck them.
Bacteria and.
Just don't pluck them. Just trim them, and you'll be fine.
I'll pull them out. If it gets so long that it's literally sticking out, I'll grab it.
You can get really bad infections by pulling them.
I don't care about that. Infections just make you stronger once you beat them. But that's only if it's like sticking out and it's like extremely obvious. I don't take pliers or anything. I'll literally just be like, but I have a lot of nose hair. I never thought I'd have this much nose hair. It's crazy.
It's gonna get worse as you get older.
It's just gonna protect me from the elements.
That's good.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it's there for a reason.
Maybe a trim every now and then.
No, I'm good. I was thinking about that recently about eyebrows as well. So
Old people get like long, almost like long and curlies up there.
well, sure.
When
Well, I have
you're
that
old.
too. I have that too. I mean,
No,
I have like the owl.
You got a strong brow.
But what I was saying is, I roast, I roast coffee for a living, and there's a lot of particles and smoke and stuff that comes up.
Sure.
And a lot of times I thought like eyebrows, like why is that even? Like, why did we evolve eyebrows? It seems so dumb or whatever. Sweat, but also it collects like particles and stuff too. It actually protects. The same thing with eyelashes.
Eyelashes and your eyebrows are to collect
And then your
particles
tear ducts and all
sweat.
that. So even if it catches it and it does fall in, you have tear ducts and all like rinses away. But it's a really interesting system that is set in place,
God's
which is
creation.
not necessarily
Just
perfect,
kidding.
but you know it's growing and it's evolving, and so I don't really want to mess with that. If I evolved that way, it's for a reason. It was something that worked, and I've seen it work in my own
Right.
life. So I'm just not going to mess with it, just because people will think, you know, it looks good or bad or whatever. I don't care about that. I'm going for productivity. But it doesn't merge with my mustache, though. You might want to get that checked out.
Not checked out, just trim it.
You might want to go see a doctor.
Some tiny scissors up in there, just snip, snip.
I think there's some surgeons that can take care of that for you.
We forgot to get the Nicolas Cage pillows out. It's too late now, but like.
It's never too late.
Oh, I mean.
I can go grab one. The poster is down too.
It fell. We had it between our stockings.
Well, I need to get a frame for it because a lot is like covered in plastic right now. So the plastic has like a glare so that you can't really see it. But yeah, we got this Nick Cage pillow.
We got two.
We got two. Well, that one's like kind of sad because the stuffing isn't all. We gotta get a pillow for the inside of it.
I looked for one. I couldn't find one that size.
We'll find one. They have them at like Walmart and probably like Amazon too. These are cool because you can kind of like draw on them. Yeah, like Panda just did. We could give him like those football or baseball eyes. You know, where that before
Just
smart.
like-
Oh, you gotta go up.
Yeah, you gotta go up. It's kind of hard to do it like that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
You like do like a little strip on his nose.
How's that? It's perfect. Yeah. I'm going to suck your blood. Yeah, that's amazing that they make these. And you just fold it back down. And boom.
There's 4 face-offs. I forgot. There's one where John Travolta, after they exchange whatever, goes to visit him in prison as like he's like parading around as the FBI agent. And he's like, I'm gonna bang your wife.
Is that the other face off?
That's the
Where he
fourth. So
bangs his
there's
wife.
the original, the one where he's in prison, the one where they're out of prison, and the trap house, like rich trap house, and the final 5 face-offs.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
I lost count.
They face off
A
a
lot.
few times.
Yeah. Every time it's like face off.
Honestly, I think John Travolta did a better job at playing Nicolas Cage than Nicolas Cage did at playing John Travolta. Because I feel like Nicolas Cage was still Nicolas Cage. He didn't, like, he's, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like...
Well, the characters were kind of similar.
Okay.
But I think...
Oh, that fucking weird monkey paw. Ooh.
Speaking of body hair, there's a scene where John Travolta, he's like flashing a wedding ring, and they zoom in on his finger.
He has straight up pubic hair on his knuckles.
He has like this really
It's
thick,
coarse and thick.
It's really gross. Like it's
It is. It looks like pubic hair. Like,
I mean, like you look at my hand, and it's just
oh, you don't have it. I have more knuckle hair than you do.
yes, I have little baby furs,
No.
but his is like black and
It's
like
coarse. Like it looks like the guy has pubic hair growing out of his knuckles, which on its own is kind of badass. But like, please don't get that. I mean, near my face. Or like, imagine if John Travolta was like he invited you over for dinner and he's like cooking this like, you know, whatever. He's cooking you some steaks or something, and then like you find a little hair later, and it's like It's basically a thick and curly, you know what I mean?
It's like a spider
But
leg.
it's his knuckle because he's been cutting the onions and garlic and whatnot, and but it's you're like, oh, pubic hair on my food, but it's just his knuckle hair.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that doesn't make it any better, but.
Dude says it sounds like a comedy. It's not exactly a comedy, but it is so entertaining the entire way through. And we were laughing.
Super entertaining,
We
yeah.
were laughing a lot.
Yeah, we laughed.
Yeah, go check it out. We watched it. We have Xfinity as our internet service, and they give us a free internet TV. It's called
Peacock. Is it?
No.
No. We get a couple of free ones.
Yeah, what was this one called? It's like
Pluto.
Pluto.
Oh, they
Pluto
have like
TV.
Parks and actually they have a couple good movies.
And honestly, you could probably even just go online and just look up Pluto TV, and you can probably find it.
You'll definitely laugh at it because of it's Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, which are just fucking clutch. But like, at the same time, I imagine like my parents watching this in 1997 and being like, "Oh my god," and like not laughing because it's like it's a kind of like it's not a thriller, but it's like a drama
Action.
And I imagine that my parents' generation would be like, "Oh shit."
I mean, I was like that. I was like, oh,
It's a good
shit.
movie. Yeah, we
fucking
definitely-
boat blowing up and
There's-
fucking like helicopters and gunfights.
Definitely moments we laughed at
And
that
they
like
do drugs, and there's no titties though.
No
That-
titties.
That was a big miss.
the movie itself gets like a little like a little bit of negative for not having boobs because
And it was a perfect setup for it. You have drugs, guns, yeah, all that stuff. So give me some boobs.
I feel like in the late 90s, early 2000s, producers and whatnot were a lot less, and I think it still rings true, but less so today. They were less likely to make an R-rated movie because of wanting people to go see it. And I feel like R-rated movies, especially in that time, like
Well, surely this is an R-rated movie.
I don't think so.
It has to be. Yeah, it is.
R.
Because they cuss a lot and a bunch of people die.
What cuss words do they say? Like, you
This-
go to hell.
They say shit and fuck.
But like
Well, I don't know if they
now,
say fuck, but they
now a movie comes out. I guess this is just a different time.
they don't make movies like this anymore. Not like mainstream blockbusters. Like, they're way more polished these days.
That's true. Can you imagine that lady? She's also the mother in The Notebook.
Haven't seen it. Is it good?
Yeah,
It's like a girl flick, right? The Notebook.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually rewatched it recently, and honestly, like, I don't like a lot of chick flick romantic movies. Gonna say it's a tearjerker.
Would I like it?
No.
Is that Keanu Reeves in that?
No, it's what's that dude that everybody's obsessed with?
Mel Gibson?
She's the mom who's a total fucking bitch in the movie, but kind of not. But she still looks, I don't know, man. She just looks like a very old person, even though she's not that old in this movie.
Chablagu said, as a man, it was a decent movie.
Honestly, like, I didn't think I'd like it, because I was obviously, like, when it came out, I was a senior right out of high school, and I still wasn't into girl movies or, like, romances, but I did like that one, and I haven't watched it since, really. And I went back, it was on Netflix or something, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch. I was feeling like, chocolate and very wanting to watch something like that. And I was like, this isn't, like, a half-bad movie.
Okay.
Like, honestly, if you have to watch a romantic movie, I would say The Notebook is one that I would recommend.
I'm getting the yawns. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll watch it. Whatever. Sometime.
I mean, it's good. It's good. It'll pull your little heartstrings. Okay, so
some lady made Chablagu watch it, so I wouldn't be the only man dragging.
yeah,
into
I mean,
that.
I cannot imagine, like, also being a dude and having, like, your lady friend
The ending
like
is sad.
oh my god, the ending is so sad. But like being a dude, you're in a relationship, you know, with the girl you like or love maybe, and then like sitting down and watching The Notebook and being like, well, fuck, how the fuck do I live up to that shit? Like, fuck, he built her fucking house. He fucking like, I don't want to spoil it. He did all this shit.
That's fine. You can spoil it. Isn't there a Keanu Reeves chick flick that was really famous where they like go to the mailbox and they're like in different times or something? They can communicate through the mailbox.
It did. It had the same girl that's in oh gosh.
I always get that one and The Notebook confused when I hear it because I haven't seen either of them.
I never watched that because I really just don't generally like movies like that.
Right.
God, but I know what you're talking about. I had Hilary Swank, I think is her name. She was in that Clint Eastwood boxing movie that we watched. Don't watch that movie. Fuck that.
No, that movie was kick-ass. I mean, it was fucking hard to watch, but
oh my god,
was it $1 Million Baby? $1
Million Baby.
Oh
that girl.
My god.
I think it's Keanu Reeves. Maybe incorrect me if I'm wrong. You've got Male as Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Why do I know that? But the one you're talking about is Keanu Reeves, I think, and I think it's Hilary Swank. And I never watched it because I think he's dead or something.
Yeah, something like that. Or they live in like different times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just was never really...
$1 Million Baby was a kick-ass movie.
Oh my god. Fuck that fucking movie.
Dude, Shabla-Goo, you should check this out. So it's Clint Eastwood, and he's like this old boxing guy or whatever. And
I feel like most people have seen that.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before.
You never heard of it?
$1 Million Baby?
I worked in it. I forget that I worked in like the...
I thought that was a newer movie.
So one of my first jobs, just so everybody knows, because, you know, like humble brag, but I worked in like an old school, very old school movie rental store called Hurdy Gurdy, like the instrument.
Oh yeah, it was 2004.
And yes, I would have been working there. And so I like have a lot of knowledge about movies that were in the early 2000s that were like popular.
That movie was cool.
We had a back room and that shit got crazy. I was
also like with the beads.
Yeah, it had like
room.
we had a porn room in the movie store I worked. So it had like the tags that you like little plastic like tags that you take off and like give to me, and I go like look for like the cassette tape or the DVD that you want and like.
And it's like, oh my god, it's Ass Blasters 3.
Oh, we had a back room, and so I was like, I worked there from when I was 15 to like 19 or 20. And so, like, there was, like, all these dirty old men. Like, I don't even know if that was legal. It definitely isn't now. Like, I sold porn. Like we would have, like, porno DVD sales and, like, porno sales. And, like, but imagine being, like, a
Shabla-Goo was one of those guys, it sounds like. That makes sense with the mustache. It's all coming together now.
The old movie stores, like, that you could rent stuff on. It's such a fucking, like, perfect thing in time.
I've never done that before. I've never been in a beaded. I mean, I've been.
Oh my god, it's so seedy. I had a lady pee in there once.
I've been to like porn shops because they're usually like head stores as well. A head store being like a smoke shop. You know, buy weed or.
And they have like a little
pipe,
back room
or you can't
something.
buy weed, but yeah. But you go in there and you can buy bongs and pipes and all that stuff, and then they'd have a back room that would have usually like sex toys and videos and stuff. But that was never really my thing. It's because, you know, we're children of the internet.
Like, ours had, like, the beaded doorway and, like, all the... Like, there was one guy who would come in and he would rent... Like, these were, like, the 4-hour fucking DVDs and tapes. Like, the tapes... It was... They'd be, like, double tapes to, like, VHS. And, like, he'd rent, like, a stack of them.
Of the pornos?
Of the pornos. And
He's having a weekend,
I remember... No, this was like a twice weekly
He's going to be beating
him.
that shit like it owes him money.
I remember his name, but I will not say it. But, like... And I lived in...
What was his first name?
Thomas. And
Thomas in Greenville, Tennessee.
So I was not going to go that far, but it was a very rural area. So... They actually had one of the last video store there recently went out of business, like within the past year. So a lot of people don't have internet.
Oh, was that Popcorn?
Yeah.
They went out of business?
They did.
About fucking time.
So it's like a lot of people don't have internet, and even in internet, and this is like the early 2000s, so porn wasn't exactly like, you didn't have Pornhub, like you had like, it was different. But like, yeah, the back room, he would come rent, I'm telling you, stacks of you couldn't even watch that in a weekend, like, and he would rent them and bring them back on time, which was 2 days, bring them back. And, like, finally, I was like, this guy has to be just sticking them in his fucking, like, VHS player and recording them.
Yeah.
And we would get, like, I remember there was one porno we had, and it was just, like, a DVD. This was a DVD. And it just had, like, boobs. Like, just, like, but not, like, a set of boobs. It just had, like, boobs all over it. I remember, I think that was like a particularly dirty one, and we would occasionally get stuff with like dried, like whatever on it. We have to clean it. Like I was like a child. I was a fucking child. Like I was like 16 years old. Like wiping fucking cum. Like
did they? Did you guys? Give people a fee if they didn't rewind the videos?
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had like a little special rewinder, and if I liked you and you didn't rewind it, but like let's say like you went there pretty regularly, I would like waive that fee. I'd be like, oh,
even
like,
if they did it consistently.
Like Harold comes here. If you did it consistently, like I might charge you. Like,
or maybe talk to him and be like, hey, can you rewind your tape?
Well, I was like 15, 16. So I really didn't do much talking to them about anything, but like I would definitely, and he did give us the option to like waive stuff, like if it's going to keep somebody's business or like, and that was part of it. Like, okay, like we'll like waive, you know, your late fees because you come here, and I was able to do that. But like, if I didn't like you, one time, my friend in Greenville, she introduced me to her dad. And she's a lot younger than I am.
You saw him in the shop.
And he was like, you look so familiar. And I was like, yeah, so do you. And then he like introduced himself. And I was like, I remember you used to come in a hurdy-gurdy. And his face, like, her dad's face, like, immediately, like, and I realized I knew. And then he knew that I knew. And it was so awkward. It was so awkward because, like, I knew. I mean, I don't remember what he rented, but I knew. Like, I knew my back. I knew my backroom customers.
But he doesn't know that. He's like, oh shit.
Like, there was like this realization that happened, and his wife was there, and his daughter was there, and I was there. I'm like 7 or 8 years older than this chick, so. And then there's like the dads that would come into the store, and like their kids would be like in the kids section, and he would like sneak off to like, all the time, like they like. Routinely dads would be like, okay, pick out like 3 movies, like
I'll be right back
and like you'd see like these little kids would like pick out their movies, and then they'd come like wandering to the front and be like, Dad, like where'd my dad go? And you're like, I don't know, like I have no clue where I think he's like outside, I don't
know. Well, you want Gage Cage?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good like segue into Gage and Cage.
I mean, I just have this visual of him early in this movie when he had his mustache,
right? Just
going back into one of those beaded rooms. Like I can just see that.
That is that kind of
yeah.
He looks the part for sure.
Yeah. Well, I already gave my Nicolas Cage Gage. He's probably watching it with the keep it fresh. That's right.
Hey.
I already gave him a 5 out of 5 for Nick Cage performance. For the movie, I want to give this movie a 5 out of 5 because I had such a good fucking time out of it, but I won't because there are some plot holes, like with the like you were saying, transplanting someone's face onto another face. You'd probably have some kind of complications. They weren't even the same blood type, and I just don't, see that working out. And also, there's just some like there's major cheese factor to the movie, like with his daughter being. Oh,
the one scene where she comes in and she's got eyelashes painted on like her whole eyelids. And
she was having like an identity crisis, which they address in the movie. I get that,
a little bit.
But it's got down a little bit. But this movie is fucking fantastic. I love this movie. It's really, 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 really good. 4.5 out of 5, and then the Nick Cage performance is a 5 out of 5 because you get everything you want out of Nick Cage in this.
All right, what did you rate the movie overall?
4.5 out of 5.
4.5.
A really high score.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I I feel like I should go with the movie first. I rate the movie.
And then they had
I rate the movie like a solid 3.5. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's entertaining. It does. I will say that for a movie that's, and we had commercials, but it's got to be a solid 2 hours and some change.
It's long.
It does not feel like that. Like after the first hour, you're like, oh my gosh, we've been watching this for an hour, and they're just like, it's, you know, they're
well,
just
the whole setup of like what's happening takes an hour.
It does.
It takes 58 minutes. We looked at it.
So 3.5, I'd say. I think it was excellent. Like as a movie, you don't realize how much time is passing, and that's really what you don't want to look down at your watch and be like, oh my god, dude. Like,
the scene where he like got in a fight with the prison guard for over a cigarette. And they're like carrying him out, and he's like, "Does anyone have a light?"
Yeah. So the movie as a whole, 3.5. I think maybe it could have been a little bit shorter.
Yeah, they could have cut some.
They could have cut some stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit of the fat off there, but overall very solid. And for me, I think 3.5 is pretty high. Nicolas Cage, 5 out of 5. Amazing. Nice. For fun, I'm going to do John Travolta. He gets a 2.5.
That's it? I thought he did a good job.
He gets like, I'm pretty harsh.
That's like a 50 out of 100. That's an F in school. You really thought John Travolta got a failing grade on this?
No, John Travolta gets a 3.5.
I agree with that, or maybe even
John Travolta
4.
good.
I give
Definitely
John Travolta
nowhere near Nick Cage.
I'm gonna give him John Travolta a 4 out of 5 because he gets to play Nick Cage, which I got a tickle out of.
In the beginning, he does really good.
It's on and off, but like last week we watched it was a Christmas movie called Trapped in Paradise, and I really got tickled when John Lovitz and Dana Carvey do Nicolas Cage impression back to his face. They mock him. Like Nicolas Cage says something like, "Well, fuck you, I don't want that." And they're like, "Well, fuck you, we don't want that." And that was really cool. And I liked how John Travolta kind of does a similar thing where he gets to act as Nicolas Cage, so you get to see some Nicolas Cage isms coming from John Travolta, who I think is a fantastic actor.
He did great in this movie, honestly.
I love seeing that. I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm. It was. So I say Nicolas Cage, 5 out of 5. Great performance, beginning to end.
Oh, yeah.
And the movie gets...
And also because he's the good guy and the bad guy in this. Like, he goes back and forth. Like, you get to see him as the villain and also as the, quote-unquote good guy. I mean, the good guy's really not that great, but, you know...
Yeah,
but the bad guy is a really
bad guy. The good guy's his wife for putting up with all this bullshit.
Yeah, I guess what makes him good...
She is kind of cold.
I think what makes him the good guy is that he's just trying to stop a guy who's so bad. And that was another thing that was really cool. When Nick Cage is playing the bad guy in this, and we're talking like a really bad guy, like terrorist blowing people up, psychopath, murderer, all that shit, and he's off the chains, which is fucking awesome to watch. So
yeah,
you get to see both spectrums in one movie. That's fucking fantastic.
It's good. It's a good performance.
Like, what more can you really ask for?
A fun movie. I highly recommend it if you have an evening and you're like, fuck, I don't know what to watch, and maybe you want to again, it's also because it's so long, you can kind of like scroll through Reddit or whatever on your phone and also watch it. Good entertainment. I don't know, where did it go? Oh, yeah.
I pulled up a little bit of trivia on this movie. I haven't read any of these yet, so let's see if there's anything interesting here.
Wow, this is some of the worst trivia.
Well, John Travolta apparently is actually a pilot. He owns several aircraft of his own.
Oh, he fucking would.
And at one point during the chase sequence, he commandeers a helicopter.
Right.
But it just says it almost makes sense that he's showing off his skills as a pilot, but that's a stretch, I feel like. Some of the prisoners are actual ex-convicts because he wanted real people. So that's kind of cool. I like that a lot.
I need to look up what else John Woo has done, because I know that name, but I couldn't tell you, what else John Woo.
I don't trust this trivia site, but it does say this is Nick Cage's favorite film of his own.
That's Nick Cage's favorite film?
That's what this website says.
Yeah, I'd like to know when that was published.
I don't believe that.
Because,
Because he's had a lot of roles.
I think we did, he said that about the last film. Not the last one, but...
Well, also, when you've done 100 films, how do you really pick, one favorite?
It's Mandy.
You really... It's hard to say, I think. And also, that Mandy one, that was from years ago, so that could have changed.
That could.
So I think that's kind of silly.
And I think the new one that he's going to be in that is...
the unbearable weight of massive talent or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. The Killer. I just need a list. I don't need this Wikipedia bullshit. The Killer, Face Off, A Better Tomorrow, Hard Boiled, which honestly, what the fuck is this movie? Hard Boiled? Look at the...
John Woo did Hard Target and Broken Arrow.
We have to watch
this. What the fuck is that?
It's called Hard Boiled.
It looks Chinese. Can you point that up to the camera here so they can see it?
I don't know if we'll be able to see
this
it.
This camera right there.
I don't...
Right there. It'll pop up here in a second. Hard Boiled. He's carrying a baby. That was probably good.
Yeah, he's got a gun and a head patch and a baby. A kind of little chunky dude.
Looks
cute.
dope. I like that. Yeah, you can see it on there.
It looks kick-ass. So John, I thought that I knew maybe more stuff that John Woo had done, but I really don't.
He did Hard Target and Broken Arrow in 1996.
Face Off, Hard Boiled.
He really wanted creative control.
Mission Impossible 2.
Okay.
Oh, he really likes John Travolta's in Broken Arrow.
Some of the inspiration from this work.
Wind Talkers, that's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, duh.
I didn't know that one. I've never been a big fan of war movies.
They got the idea for face surgery from a friend who had a hang gliding accident. They had to remove most of the skin from his face, reconstruct the bone matter, and put his face back on.
Twin Dragons. Also, that sounds awful about the face thing.
The original script had the same concept, but it was a sci-fi action movie set in the future. The setting was changed to present day once John Woo signed on. So the plot could explore how Archer and Castor's dislike for each other's affects those around them, especially after they get each other's face.
What does that have to do with it being set? It would have made more sense to set it in the future because of fucking having somebody else's goddamn face. But
who knows?
Yeah, Michael Douglas did produce this. He was in the game, and I think he may have produced the game, which is such a good movie. I think you watched part of that with me one night.
Which movie?
The Game with Michael Douglas.
I have no idea.
You didn't like it. You said it was scary. Where he's like he's like a bigwig executive, and he's in like the part of this like crazy game that's, kind of like they fuck with your whole life. It's a gaslighting extreme gaslighting, and make him think that he's, crazy and being chased and all this stuff, and it escalates and escalates and escalates, and they're like, happy birthday!
So Shablagoo wants to send his wife some flowers.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't know which ones.
Oh, okay. I can definitely help.
But he doesn't know which ones.
Oh, okay. I can definitely help.
So we got 2 links here. Oh,
so-
wow.
Those are really. Are those hydrangeas?
Ocean breeze orchids.
Oh, orchids.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, that's expensive. That's nice.
Let's see this other one. That's nice too. I like the orchids better. This one seems a little bit more like floral, kind of like old lady-ish, I feel like.
I like that one better.
And then I feel like the orchids are more like, I guess it depends on what kind of lady your wife is. I think the orchids are more artistic and vibrant and interesting, whereas the second one
I like the second one better.
It almost looks like, well, you're the woman, so your opinion is way more valid.
I mean,
here.
I also think it depends on what you're sending it for. You were leaning towards the orchids. Those are, I mean, honestly nicer. And I think I'm probably the anomaly in that I would love the orchids. I think the second one is prettier, but I think the orchids, you won't go wrong with those. I mean, whether they're just no big reason. That's so sweet. That is really, really nice. As a lady, I can tell you, flowers are nice to receive as a lady because it's something that's unnecessary and it's kind of like a special treat to get flowers.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
It is. He said no big reason. That's incredibly sweet. I think you won't go wrong with the orchids. I do see what Zen's saying. Me as a woman, I would like the medley for winter better, but I'm probably slightly off on that as to what I would say as an objective person, send the orchids.
And you really can't go wrong.
You will not go wrong with that because they're really pretty.
You can't go wrong either way. I feel like because you're sending your lady flowers and that's super sweet.
I was just telling him how nice it is to receive flowers because it's nice because it's unnecessary and it's also something that's a treat. So it's like it's definitely like a good thing to do for your lady because it's not.
There's no bad choice here. I like the blue ones.
I think the blue ones are the big way to go.
But the other ones are nice too. I mean,
I see what you're saying with the old lady. It almost looks like something you'd see on it.
I'd give that to my grandma.
I'll be your grandma. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I don't know where
that came from.
I don't even know what that means.
I just say really weird shit.
You need a woman's opinion though, so.
Oh, send into her work orchids all the way.
Yeah.
Make those other women jealous.
They're popping, man. Look at those colors.
Yeah, but that's always like the best photo. You know what I mean?
That's true. But I mean, for $70 or $100, whichever one you get, it better fucking look nice. I feel like if he's paying that much money, they probably will look.
Usually,
close
I
to
think
the
so.
photo.
I think so.
This ain't fucking McDonald's. This is, and if they're not, I mean, get your money back.
I definitely think so.
Those are beautiful.
They are. I'd say, especially if you're sending them to her work, go with the orchids, because they will be the talk of the office or her workplace, and they'll be like,
yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend never does that for me, and that's what you want. That's what you fucking want, like, to be the dude there. Like, oh, my dude never does that for me. Like, I want some orchids.
Hey, Shabligo, how's your holidays, by the way? Did y'all have a good Christmas? It's all good? We had a great Christmas. It's just me and you.
Yeah.
We took the weekend. It was a good time.
Yeah, we had stockings. We made a really awesome breakfast. We went on a nature walk. We played video games.
Maybe.
We have fun.
It was good.
Super nice. And
good Christmas. We got good presents for each other.
We did. We got a lot of the same presents for each other.
Yeah. But she got me this really great jacket coat that I really needed. Cowboy Bebop mug. That was really cool. And yeah, it was a good Christmas.
Now I got a coffee maker and a new set of kitchen knives that I love because I've been needing those.
And Shabla Goose Kid had a good time.
So that's the kids are always the best part of.
Well, she's Christmas. Like little, right? Like, didn't you say she's like? I've asked you this like 3 times already. She's like 2 or something, I think. If I remember right. Mm-hmm. Little. She's 4. I was off.
Oh, that's a fun age too.
Yeah,
especially with the gifts. Like,
I bet she talks a lot. Huh?
They're so excited for just like. It's really. I think that's like one of the first years that I don't have kids, but like I did it with my nieces when they were at like from
4 going on 15.
0. Oh gosh, and like 4, 3, and 4, and maybe 5 were so much fun because they were just like fucking pumped.
Yeah,
like you could get them anything. They'd be like, "Fuck yeah!"
She never stops. He says, "Yeah." Especially little girls, I feel like at that age, just are like, "Oh my god, I have this, I have that, and don't you think my hair is pretty? And don't you think that's it? And that's it." Maybe we should do a kid-friendly Nicolas Cage movie.
National Treasure is a great one.
Yeah,
just kid-friendly. Kid-friendly as fuck.
We wanted to do that one. We wanted to do that one as a 2-parter though. I don't know if I'm quite ready to do a 2-parter.
There's definitely other kid-friendly.
Into the Spider-Verse was one of them.
It's probably PG-13, but depending on how you.
It's kid-friendly. Into the Spider.
I think it's kid-friendly.
It's a cartoon and it's not that bad. Maybe not necessarily for a 4-year-old, but a 4-year-old wouldn't.
But I have wine mouth. I just saw myself on camera. I was like, "Oh." What's
wine mouth?
Like, because we were drinking red wine, like, my mouth is, like, stained a little bit.
Okay. He did some animated stuff. I have some more trivia on Face Off that I pulled up here. The first website wasn't that great, but there's some more here. John Woo fought to keep the slash in the title, so it's face/off. So moviegoers wouldn't think it was a film about hockey.
Oh, okay, because that's what they do when they... Yeah, there's
hockey.
A face-off in hockey. That makes sense. Can I ask them here? Face-off.
One of John Woo's directing styles is to make large action sequences with dubs, which you can see in Mission Impossible 2 on the island just before the final action sequence, and the church in Face Off, and the bird church that we were talking about earlier. The prison is called Erewhon, which is nowhere backwards.
Oh, that's a palindrome. No, palindrome is the same backwards as forwards. Never mind.
One contributor was stationed at George Air Force Base near Victorville, California, where the airport scenes were filmed. The base closed in 1992. Here's something if you really want to get technical. They fight inside a hangar and then to the Hush House, which is the engine testing area where Cage is blown to the wall by the engine afterburner. It looked as though they went through the hangar straight to the Hush House. He worked in both of these buildings and had to either drive to the Hush House or walk very far across the flight line. Looks good in the movie unless you were there. I don't understand that.
I like the next one a lot.
I don't understand that one at all.
The names Castor and Pollux Troy are taken from the constellation Gemini. Oh, shoot. Oh no, what did I do? I'm sorry. Are the twin sons of Leda and the brothers of Helen of Troy. And
Clytemnestra.
According to the myth, the twins had the same mother but different fathers. While Pollux was immortal, Castor was mortal. When Castor died, Pollux asked Zeus to keep them together, so they were transformed into the Gemini constellation. I really like that.
Yeah, but they both die in this.
They do. They do, but you can. I also like to think that our main dude had other dude's face on, so a little bit of him lives on.
Like deep inside.
Deep inside, down.
He's in there.
Deep down in his plums.
Every time you look in the mirror, you will see my face.
Yeah. Magnetic boots.
The magnetic boots in the prison are the same boots worn by the Goombas in the Super Mario Brothers movie. Talk about a movie that flopped.
Oh my God, they're
Nobody
going to
likes
remake that. I think and I think Chris Pratt is going to be in it.
Might as well.
Fuck that shit.
As awful as that Super Mario Brothers movie is, I kind of
like it. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit about the blood type.
It's like the same way that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies are good. Like, they're good, and like if we were to watch them now, we would find entertainment.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
So we did talk about the blood types, and I said maybe one of them is universal. So O is a universal blood type, and AB is the universal recipient type. But it still wouldn't go if they were going to trade organs, because O, I think, can give and receive. No, maybe O can give to everybody, but they can only receive O, I think. And then AB can get from anybody, but they can only give AB. So it still doesn't work out, but that is interesting.
I think they were talking more about, as an example, to contrast the characters. So the O blood type is universal donor, suggesting that he's a more giving person to help the greater good, whereas AB
is always taking.
Is a recipient.
Oh, okay, I didn't even think about it in that context of.
I wonder if they did that intentionally.
Wow, somebody was so into this movie they
I feel like that's just a coincidence, but you never know.
Probably.
Oh
yeah, no, we do see boobies. They're cartoon boobies, but when he disarms the bomb, like the cartoon lady pops her shirt open and she's like, "You disarmed me."
That counts.
It counts? Does it count? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's probably what made this movie R.
That and they cuss. But yeah, those two things.
I'm still sticking to it was the boobs.
Sure. At the LA Convention Center, just before Castor Troy disarms the bomb, there are a few shots of all the extras evacuating the area. In the interior shot, it looks out through the glass doors out onto the street. The tracking crane arm with a seated camera operator and camera on its platform is visible as it shoots an exterior crane shot of all the extras, what does that even mean? Some of these are just don't even. I'm not going to read the long ones anymore. These are just quotes.
Yeah.
The original script was mostly set in the prison. The writers called it Birdman of Alcatraz in the future. That was the original concept. How does shit like this get made? In it, some prisoners hung upside down from the ceiling by their boots, with the IVs collecting bodily fluids. So it was a much darker.
That was dark.
Futuristic type thing.
I can't read that small that far away.
According to the blood test results, I have to lean in. Well, that's why I have my glasses on, actually, was to help me with this. According to the blood test results, Castor Troy's glycohemoglobin is much higher than 6.5%, so he most likely has diabetes. Some nerd watched this.
Yeah.
He's like, he has diabetes.
He has diabetes.
Before shooting emotional scenes, John Woo played soft, sad music to help the actors get into character. John Travolta said he didn't need it. He nailed the scene in one take, earning the nickname One Take John.
Oh, wait, they didn't do One Take Travolta? They did One Take John?
John Travolta probably had to get into the music and be like,
they really missed their opportunity with One Take Travolta.
I think that's a good idea as a director.
Yeah.
To get you in the mood.
Set the ambiance. Mm-hmm. Like when you're going to make love to your woman, you set out the flower petals, maybe light a candle, get the silk robe. Mm-hmm.
I do all those things.
Anyway.
Well, now I gotta go fucking flower shopping. Thanks. Shabba-doo.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Where's my flowers?
The other pairs of actors that were considered were Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, which would have been amazing.
Okay, I would see that going well.
I would see Arnold being the bad guy. Harrison Ford and Michael Douglas. Bruce Willis and Alec Baldwin, who just killed a guy.
Ooh, Alec Baldwin. I can see him doing that role, especially in like the late 90s when he was still kind of hot.
Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. These are all good matchups. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal. Denzel Washington and Wesley Snipes.
They all would have been drastically different movie based on the pairs you just gave me.
I like the Arnold and Sylvester Stallone.
I like that one a lot. It would have been more extreme, I feel like.
It would have been more action-packed, I feel like. That a lot more in the action scenes.
Yeah.
And honestly, either one could be either when it comes down to it. I said I would see Sly as the good guy because Sylvester's never really played a bad guy before. And Arnold, I guess, really hasn't either. I mean, I feel like Arnold... But he turns into a good guy in that. Mm. So I guess he starts as the bad guy, but... yeah, so that's kind of cool. And I guess we're going to wrap it up. There's a couple more trivia things on here.
I'm tired. It's like my bedtime. I got to work.
I like the IMDb has a lot on here. It's hit or miss with these Nicolas Cage movies. Some of them they have tons of trivia on, like this one, and other ones not so much because some are like much more obscure.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch on here. So if you're interested, watch the movie and then go check out the IMDb trivia stuff. There's plenty more. I actually had 3 other tabs pulled up, but I don't want to get into all that.
Good luck with the flowers.
Yeah, Shabla.
I mean, I know it's going to be a hit no matter what you get because just honestly, receiving even just like whatever flower at any time is such a fucking nice thing. Like every girl I've ever known is like, they got flowers! Like, and including myself. Like, it's like, it's nice. It's super nice. So I know that, which I do say Orchid, but it's gonna be a hit, and she's probably gonna like give you some knowledge or something afterwards.
Yeah, you're gonna have a good night after that, for sure. Cool. So we're done.
Come up with a new note. Just
a new note.
I would just be like,
I love and appreciate you, and and whatever personal stuff that y'all got going on.
Yeah, or just like, just wanted to say I love you.
Yeah,
that's a good one. You can't go wrong with that. Keep it simple.
Isn't there a song like that? Like, I just called to say
probably Lionel
I
Richie,
love you, or like Stevie Wonder or something.
I don't know. Yeah, I think something simple. Just want excuse me. Something simple. Just wanted to say hey.
All right, we're done. We're about to sign off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign off with this this video that Tim, because I tried to do this video in the intro. But anyways, have a good night. This is Gage and Cage. Y'all be good. Take care.
Bye.
See you, Shabla-goo. Thanks for tuning in.
See you next week. Bye.
Yep. Cool. So we're still live here, but I'm gonna try to pull up this video because I love this video, man. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, you did a really good job with it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I really got.
Yeah, go for it, man. We're done. You take that.
You take that.
Thanks. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully this works.
Good luck.
Thanks, baby.
Sir? Yeah, that was